Leave it to Steve and Dr. Mimi to get the Toya fans in a tizzy. I want to get into my final thoughts about the Married to Medicine Season 12 reunion. By the way, my name is Zonut Zoe, and this is my Bravo Breakdown. But before we get into that, I do want to say that King should have been there. I understand why Quad would not want him there, but I wish she could have put like her ego to the side for a minute and allowed him to be there, because a lot of the women were saying some not so nice stuff about him. And I feel like he should have had the opportunity to speak on it. For instance, Dr. Simone calling him a chauvinist, Dr. Heavenly basically saying he was an opportunist and didn't really even love Quad. But aside from that, I had to look up Dr. Simone's sign, and she's a Pisces. And that tells me all I need to know about her and that theatric performance she put on. If you would like me to do an astrological breakdown of the Married to Medicine group, let me know in the comments. But aside from that, let's get into all the guys kind of ganging up on Dr. Eugene. And it's funny because for the longest time, people always felt like Dr. Eugene was like the quiet guy, the laid back guy. They felt bad for him for how Toya treated him. But Dr. Eugene is not no punk. But he's very, very much like his wife. Like I said, we see most of the guys, we see Curtis, Dr. Damon, and obviously Steve have issues with him. Cecil and Dr. Scott seem to be fine, but he does not back down. And getting into Steve, I feel like Steve has been reading some of the comments, because when I made that post saying I didn't understand why Toya had an issue with Dr. Mimi sitting on the napkin in her house, the audience was kind of split. Half of you were saying that Dr. Mimi was petty in that situation. She didn't need to do all that. And then the other half felt like Toya was overreacting. And some people even said that Toya was attracted to Steve and that Steve was the first time there's ever been an attractive guy in the group. And honestly, that never crossed my mind until that post. And I feel like Steve must have seen some of those comments and let it get to his head. Because why else would he come for Dr. Eugene like that? But those comments from Steve annoyed a lot of the Toya fans. And there's something that I'm also seeing that I don't really like, and I'm going to call out. Some people are trying to say, oh, Steve is DL, he's closeted and this, but I don't think that's fair at all, because it seems like that only happens when you don't like someone. In another post, I had said, Steve's not the only attractive guy on Married to Medicine, because there was Dr. Darren. And then you guys said the same thing about Dr. Darren. And the women on the show said the same thing about Dr. Darren. But they only said that about Dr. Darren because they didn't like Lisa. And this happened on Real Housewives of Atlanta multiple times too. Portia did it to her first husband. Kenya did it to Walter. They also try to say it about Kim Field's husband. And I don't think that's fair. But those are my final thoughts about the Married to Medicine Season 12 reunion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments so I can follow for more.